Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coalition of the Sane. Hashtag COTS, a COTS take. And, everybody has an opinion on Donald Trump and his conviction on 34 felony counts. And you've heard just about all those opinions from pundits. I've been watching all this, and I think we're missing something here that I want to go into because my specialty isn't in punditry. My specialty is in data and also disinformation, information operations. But also, I think, based on the fact that I'm a former GOP member, and I know it still shocks people, I was a member of the Freedom Caucus, though I always say not for long because I saw the nuttery pretty quickly, is that I don't think people are paying attention to the amount of belly crawling that's going on in the GOP. And almost the VP sweepstakes or the vice presidential sweepstakes has really bloomed as everybody's trying to get on the Trump bandwagon. But I have this image, especially after I saw the Ted Cruz talking about how upset and furious he was. And I was just absolutely stunned that somebody like Ted Cruz wasn't that upset and furious when Donald Trump implied his wife was some kind of grotesque monster, when he had that comparison picture of Melania and his wife, and, his wife with a grimace, and just absolutely dragged Ted Cruz's wife across the national scene, and then also accused his dad, I believe, of killing JFK. And Ted Cruz is out there bemoaning the 34 count verdict like somehow his soul has been shattered. The self-flagellating, spineless guy, it's almost like beta boys and googly girls are the only people who are out there supporting Trump. And I say this in a way because it's just absolutely shocking to me that all these little piggies are trying to find the MAGA teat, and I call them sort of the suckling grunts, right? They're the, I don't want to say suckle but that's pretty much how I view them. And, when you look at my background, I'm military, I've been in Congress, I've been a CEO of multiple companies, but when you're in the military or when you're like me, when you like to, go at people verbally and things like that, I have a unique gift with using vulgarities and curse words. And I try not to use it too much, but it's so hard not to want to use, right? To try to stop yourself from using that type of language when you're looking at the people like the Ted Cruzes and the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Josh Hawleys and the JD Vances and the Rick Scotts and the Marco Rubios. Oh God. And Tim Scott, my God, I don't know if he can actually prostrate himself enough before the altar of Trump. I almost imagine, all these people covering themselves in their own feces, if they had been told to do that and actually parade themselves naked in public in order to get an endorsement from Trump. But again, this is the image that I see with Cruz and things like that, is all these individuals, right, are looking for the teat. And in this case, I would say all of them are looking to actually insert their noses firmly in Donald Trump's crotch. And I think that's really what they're trying to do. And I don't understand that, and I'm going to talk from a man's point of view here, from somebody who's even embarrassed to wear another man's jersey to a sporting event, which I just refuse to do, is I don't understand the fact that all of them seem to be the gimp to Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago. And I think they're all trying to say, who is the person who gets the honor of always being dragged out of the basement with a chain and a hood over their head? That's pretty much how I see them. And it's just shocking to somebody who actually believes they've done some pretty cool things. They've been military, they played sports. I was a powerlifting champion. I know at 54, maybe it's hard to believe now, but I did some pretty cool things. And the one thing I wouldn't do is to subjugate myself to a specific individual just to get their approval, their pat on the head. And then, what's incredible to me is that not only are they subjugating themselves or lying prostrate in front of Trump or covering themselves in their own feces or completely destroying any notion of self-respect or the fact that they're trying to suckle, at the MAGA teat, and they're all fighting and always think the runt is Ted Cruz is on the outside because he's so performative and idiotic. And I'm trying to do things in AI. I'm trying to do things in technical spaces now. And I have a very, sort of a thriving company. As you guys know, I'm a whiskey distiller. I work my ass off in my life. And I just find, I think these people lack so much talent. And they want power so badly that the only way they think that they can get to that power is by showing that they're completely loyal to Trump, regardless of how often Trump demeans them, destroys them. Do they have a safe word? I mean, at what point do they actually say the safe word? It's like all these people enjoy titty twisters all the way to when they pass out, and I'm just not quite sure why that's a thing. And then when I see the coordinated messaging is subjugating themselves to Trump, and you know that the NRCC, the Republican National Committee, also the whip team, there's multiple areas, there's multiple avenues that messaging gets to the congressional members, but you also have messaging spread to the state parties, and it goes all the way down to the local parties. So that's being spread, and you see that disinformation. Even people I know are calling this a kangaroo court, and they're getting hyperbolic, right? As they're saying, oh, well, we agree the jury did their job, but it was a kangaroo court. Oh, bullshit. I mean, the guy broke the law. And by the way, even if he was, say, you know, not found guilty of these charges, why would any Republican or evangelical support him, knowing that he paid off a porn star, had sex with her, committed adultery? What are they defending? Trump's ability to lie to people's faces, the fact that of course, he tried to hide money, or, the fact that he likes to have sex on the side with porn stars or with Playboy bunnies. The other thing that you see, is these people are subjugating themselves to Trump and going around and, hitting themselves with a cat of nine tails. The other thing that you see, right, is disinformation that's just bloomed on X and on Threads, more on X, where people are saying, well, I wasn't going to go vote for Trump before the trial, but I am now. It's just disinformation. It's coordinated. There's a lot of money behind this stuff. It's really what it is. It's bullshit. So I'm seeing this, this massive flow of bullshit on Twitter. Seeing this massive flow of bullshit on any type of social media. If anybody's saying that now they're going to vote for Trump, even though they voted for Biden, bullshit. It's just crap, and maybe some people have changed their minds. I don't think they're the ones out there saying that, they're doing this. But then you have the actual GOP leaders coming out and saying the most ridiculous things. It's inane. This is not the rule of law party. It's not the party that talks about courage. It's not the party that really does care about family values. This is the party that simply wants to latch themselves to a 77-year-old, rambling, incoherent wreck of a human being who's always had problems with the truth, who seems to have an issue with zippers. He can't get any pants where the zippers work. They keep coming down, and for some reason he keeps actually using whatever comes out of his zipper on other people that aren't appropriate, and he uses his money to bully people. That's just where we're at. That's where we're at. You have the attack of the suckle fucks. And I hate to use those words because I'm going to run for office again one day. But if you have men and women like this who are willing to do anything for power and to do anything outside any type of moral boundary, what are they willing to do when they have to make real decisions for the protection of this country? That's what you need to think about. And even if Trump was innocent or found innocent of these crimes, is this the kind of person you want leading our country? Thanks. And I really do hope that we as Americans can come together just to push back the immorality and the grotesque nature of what Trump has brought to this country. Thank you. And I do believe for the sane and for the pro-reality army, for our coalition, the sane, we all need to get to work.